That'll clean it all. I mean, then it'll be crystal clear.
So when you gravity,
No gravity.
No. Okay.
Only pneumatic. So the reason that you cannot have a gravity feed on this system is, in order to gravity feed, like we couldn't even make it. Let's say we wanted to get rid of all this piping, and they had to have it gravity. You have to, there's no conveyor. Where are you gonna put a conveyor? It's just gonna drop right there.
Yeah.
There's no conveyor that can go over our frame. And our frame is what makes us unique. That's what allows us to go on a shipping container, on a shipping vessel, and that's what allows us to go on the back of a truck, and what allows us to go on the rail.
Now, I thought I did see in the video where it did mention gravity.
I thought, that's why.
We originally had a gravity model, and we scrapped it. It's not that we can't come up with one in the future, because we could come up with one where we have the frame. And we had some engineers working on it. It's still in the background, but we're like, look, until somebody comes to us and says, we'll take it if you can make it gravity feed, it's not worth it for us to invest any more money. Let's just try to, almost all your stuff's going to want to come out pneumatically. It's faster.
Right.
And it's cleaner.
Less than 30 minutes is fast.
Because if I do this by gravity, I'm getting in here, I'm releasing the hatch, I've got a conveyor, or an RBT, okay? A conveyor that's going to come here, and it's going to go up, and it's going to dump it into something else. Then I lost product again. Yeah, it kind of goes against our whole point of, this is sealed. I can go from inside here, airtight sealed, you put a 20-foot hose on here, and I can pump it to wherever your location is, and it never sees the outside air. If I'm gravity feed, I got outside air all the way to your deal. You just contaminated it, and you're going to blame me from the shipping because of the last leg.
Now, wherever the unloading station is, they will have
the truck will have the blower.
The semi truck.
Trucks will have all PT. Yeah, you can have pneumatic trucks. Yeah, because you're only running 5 psi through here. I say only. I mean, you don't want to get hit by 5 psi.
Yeah,
but
that's not a lot.
Not a lot for this,
yeah.
But so it's still semi-gravity flow. I mean, you open up this hatch, the stuff's going to flow down this pipe.
Right, and it's just blowing it out.
And then, so what happens is the air blows this way through the pipe, and it also blows in here and creates a pressure down. So once you turn on that air, it goes in 2 directions. It pushes all the pressure down through that hole, and it also blows out this pipe.
Is this retrofit? Whatever the truck or is there?
Yeah, that's standard. All hoses will have that same fitting.
Okay.
All hoses for pneumatics, for blowing pipe.
You have to.
Yeah.
Way around it.
And these are your forklift gates here, obviously. And these are for cranes. Hook on to cranes.
And those are the ISO locks.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, this is a no-brainer.
It's the difficult part is to convince somebody to change their whole supply chain. We're currently doing it this way. Tell me why I want to change and scrap the way I'm doing it. People hate change. Some people like it. You get into companies that have been around for 30, 40 years, there's always that new guy, the son or the grandson that says, I'm going to do it differently. He'll listen, right? Family-owned businesses, he'll listen. Hey, we need to do it this way.
So what's our best pitch? What's the biggest? It's cost savings. When you agree?
It just depends on everybody you're talking to is going to be different. Like your biggest pitch is, hey, you're driving stuff from Nevada to the East Coast. Why are you not putting it on the rail? They're going to say, well, I can't fill a 110-ton deal. I can't get it to the rail yard and fit. They're going to have all these problems. Say, what if I could the truckload that you're hauling around, what if I could put that on the rail for you? You're going to say, how? And then you've got the Intermobile. They don't know anything about it. Same with shipping. They're shipping it somewhere, and they're loading up all these super sacks. Molycorp's loading up all these super sacks and shipping that stuff overseas. Okay? So they're super sacking everything. What if I went to you and I said, I can eliminate every dollar you spend on super sack in a year. You go to your accountant and ask how much you spent on super sacks, just on the sacks. And they'll come back and say $200,000 on just sacks that are gone. Okay? How about the employees filling the sacks? How about the equipment that you're paying for to run and the conveyors and all that? How about the containers and the pallets that you're throwing in the containers to put the super sacks on? How about the forklift driver that's taking a 1-ton super sack and putting 20 of them in this container? It probably takes him 2 hours.
That's what Rick did.
Okay, so his job of loading up a 1.5 ton super sack and driving it into a container and dropping it on a pallet and then backing the forklift up and going and getting another one and bringing in 30 super sacks into one container, or 18. They can only put about 18 super sacks in there because they got pallets, they got air on the side, they've got room on the side, they got room on the top of that container. They're shipping air. It's all wasted space. There'll be no air. There's no wasted space in this thing. You ship 25 tons, it's 25 tons of product. They're shipping pallets, and they're shipping sacks, and they've got all this room up top and all this room on the side where they don't have any product.
So it sounds to me as though we really ought to aggressively look for companies that are using super sacks.
Yes. If they're using, now, you find those companies, we'll help you sell, by the way. I mean, we're not here, you just find these companies, we'll come in and sell. I mean, we have experience, we'll do demos, we'll do whatever we gotta do. We'll fly them here, we'll fly them there, we'll do it all. All right, you help us find these companies like the Molecorps. And that you found them, that is when we saw that is a marriage, except for they're now going out of business. But that is the perfect company. They're using super sacks, they're inefficient, they have product that's worth a lot of money, so they don't want lost product. They don't want it to, Rick was saying if they hit 20% moisture, they lose that whole batch.
That's right.
That's
and that was common.
And it was common.
He had to find a way to actually hang the super sack. And he developed that process where they were hanging the super sack to keep
moisture out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Zero moisture right here. And this is the great thing. You seal this up at Molecorp at their mines. They load it at their mines, okay? And then they can truck it to their staging places or whatever. But it can be loaded at their mines and staged. They seal the caps. They put a plastic ring around it. When it gets to its final destination on the other side of the world and they open it up, there's no question about who contaminated it. Did it get contaminated at your sacking site? Did it get contaminated when it got moved to the shipping level? Did it get contaminated when it came off the ships and then got loaded into another truck and then made it out to us? I mean, there's no question about where did it get contaminated at and who's responsible for it. It's sealed up.
So they put like a zip tie thing on
Zip tie it, boom. And they have a little date on the zip tie that shows when it was zip tied. And you also now have, GPS. You know right where it is at all times. They can't put a GPS on a super sack.
We could, we'll do justice.
So this thing is already fixed with its GPS, or?
Yeah, it's already fixed with the GPS system. We've already routed the one that's coming over from China. We can pull it up right now and it'll ping in China. It pings every
Few minutes.
Every 5-10 minutes it pings, gives you a ping. On the ocean, everything. And they collect all that data. It's pretty cool. It's a cool setup. But yes, super sacks is huge. I'd look for people doing super sacks, and I would also look for people using the manifest rail. And that's all.
To encourage them to go from manifest to intermodal.
Yes, you get there twice as fast. The cost is a lot less, and now you can load. Like even if they're putting it on the manifest, they're loading it wherever they're mining it or farming it or whatever. They're not the manifest rail right there usually. They have to put it in trucks, take it to silos, and then the manifest rail will come by that silo station and they'll pour it in there.
Okay.
So right now they might be set up for that already, but if they start a new mining location, I mean, you can only mine one spot for so long. You always look for new spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
They start a new mining location, and they have a lot of capital expenditure they're putting up to build a rail spur and to build silos. They no longer have to build rail spurs. It can cost $1 million to build a rail spur, and it could take you a year to 18 months to get it built. And you're building silos. You don't have any of that now. It's all eliminated. So finding mining companies that are moving and growing is a huge key. Like, okay, currently I see you have this rail spur you built here and these silos. Are you guys going to go to any other locations in the near future? And they're going to say, yeah, and in 2 years we plan to be here. Well, they know how much they just spent to get all that shit done. Now that's all gone. You don't have to do that. Just use these containers. and use them as storage as your silos. Just pick them up, throw them in.
Now, what about shipping in terms of the docks? What would be our best approach to?
So there's intermodal yards at every shipping hub in America. So they go straight. So you load it up on a truck. Okay, let's say we load this up at our wherever we're mining. Okay, we fill it up on site. A truck picks it up with we load it up there with a forklift right here. We put it on a truck. The truck drives it to the intermodal site. They take it from a crane and put it on the train. The train takes it all the way to the port. At the port, they put it off with a crane and put it right on a ship. No one touches it. No one handles it. And then the ship's going to take it to England or wherever. And then in England, they're going to take it off of the crane. They're going to set it down, and they're going to wait for a truck to come pick it up, and that truck's going to drive it all the way to the final destination.
So will we be would the target market be the shipping company to replace their present containers with the intermobile containers?
So shipping companies.
Maersk, let's use them as an example.
Maersk. So shipping companies don't like it when their containers get out of their site. With ours, it's got to. It gets dropped off and a truck comes and picks it up and takes it away. And Maersk is like, wait, there goes our shipping container. What they currently do now is, here's our shipping container. We're going to open it up. You come get all your dry bag goods out of it and load it into a truck or wherever the hell you want. But our shipping container is not leaving our shipyard.
Okay.
With our container, it's meant to leave their shipyard.
Okay.
So that's why the person buying the product might want this. Okay, so if they're buying it, they know it gets loaded up at the mine and it gets all the way back to their facility, and then they unload it. And they know that they've got product and all that. And they're going to say, hey, I'm going to buy that product from you, but you give me a discount, I'm going to send my own containers that you're going to fill up.
Okay.
So don't
So
sell me
shipping
that.
companies wouldn't be in a target market then?
I don't think so.
Okay. Sure.
I don't, unless what they wanted to do is offer a specialty shipping container, but they're going to lose sight of it.
Sure.
And that's the problem.
GPS.
I was thinking GPS.
The GPS.
Yeah, so you get a shipping line or a shipping company that says, hey, we slap GPSs on it and we're willing to try this.
Mm-hmm.
But most shipping companies don't own intermodal containers. They have them all, they make them all, and they usually sell those intermodal containers, the ones that are going to go on the trucks and the trains, to that private company. That's why you'll see Maersk, but you also see a company name. They own that. The shipping companies that own the shipping containers that only lease them out, like let's say I have these products and I call a shipping line, hey, I need it. They're going to give me a container for like $500 for that trip. But that container has to be unloaded. But there are a lot of companies that you'll see their name on the side of a container. That means they own that 20-foot shipping container.
So for most mines, farmers, or whatever, this is a totally foreign and new concept.
No, they
Owning their own container.
they can't comprehend it.
Because
They said, I don't need that for storage. I got my silo right here.
Right.
You know, and when my silo holds all my stuff, you know, but it costs them $1 million to buy that silo or pay for that silo. You know, they're not thinking about that. $1 million worth of containers, they can
What
replace
is
it.
a capacity of an average silo
Well, I don't know.
compared to
I don't.
A lot.
There's so many different types of
the
silos.
silos are way bigger, obviously.
No, yeah,
the
yeah.
big cement
I
one.
think cement silos go like 10 stories high.
Okay.
So 10 stories is going to be it's going to be 100 feet high. So it'd be 10 of these high, and maybe 2 wide. So maybe, you know, one of the silos might only be 20 of these containers. I know they're about 100 feet high, and this is 9 foot, and the silo doesn't go all the way to the ground. So I mean, I would say 10 and 2.
And then you run the risk of contamination in the silo.
So if you had a silo, so if you can stack these 8, so you can stack these 8 high, or let's say 6 high. Not a lot of farmers have a forklift that can stack, or a crane that can stack it 8 high.
Right.
So let's just say that they want to stack it 3 high. You know, they can buy a portable crane to do 3 high. I mean, or a forklift 2 high. Let's say they're doing 2 high. So 2 high, and they're doing 20 of them. A row of 10 is still only 100 feet.
Right.
So it'd be like from you could 1, 2. This would take 10 of them right here, just this little space. Just 2 high.
Right, just 2 high.
And then that way they load their silo, and so instead of emptying their silo, they just take one off and put on the back of the truck. And then when it comes back empty, they fill it up with air, and they constantly, but it's a lot of outside thinking.
So what's the biggest benefit to the farmer?
Contamination.
They're customers.
Customers, yeah.
So how many times